Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that ES failed ahead of the previous day's VPOC, and we ended up seeing balancing in the overnight session, followed by liquidation and a push down into 1896. At this point, heading into the open, the overnight bias is bearish, and if the market continues to chop here and hold below 1901 half to 1903, then we could get another short-term liquidation move into the 88 half to 90 half initial support, which is still an area where responsive buyers can be active on first test. Below that, we have support at 81 half to 84 half, followed by 70 quarter to 72.75. And from here on out, responsive buyers can be active at pretty much every zone on first test. And the 81 half to 84 half and 88 half to 90 half are areas where, unless we're seeing complete trend down potential or just very strong liquidation, those are areas where the market can turn around and get back into the recent balance, into the overnight range. So there is potential for a short-term reversal off the 88 half to 90 half and 81 half to 84 half, as long as we're not seeing major downside momentum and just panic type selling across not just the S&P but the other markets as well. So the way the market is setting up right now, keep an eye on the pre-market support 96 to 97 half and pre-market resistance 1901 half to 1903 to help establish short-term directional bias right off the open. On the upside, a break above 01 half to 03 would bring the 1908 half to 11 half initial resistance into play. That's still an area where the sell side can defend on first test. And if you take that zone out, now it would be a confirmation that the market is getting back into just the recent range, recent balance, and from there we can get a move up into the gap fill at 1916 and a test of the 18 quarter to 20 quarter resistance and potentially the 23 to 25 resistance zone where again sell side can be active. So our short-term bias continues to be neutral simply because the markets are still opening near support. We're still in a market where a lot of the movement is happening in the overnight session, which presents a challenge for trading the day session since a lot of the range potential has already been used up. Now, tonight we are running on above average volume. So for the past few days, the volume had been below average. Tonight, so far, we are running on above average volume, which can result in a wider range. And even when we don't get an absolute wide range, we can get additional volatility within the current range. So, if this higher volume continues into the day session, then you can expect one of those two scenarios, either just a bigger overall range or higher volatility and bigger swings within whatever the range establishes during the day session. So again, right now going into the day, the bias is going to be overall short-term neutral, with the understanding that yesterday's bias was bearish and the overnight bias is bearish. So the sell side is in control at the moment heading into the open, but how the market reacts to 96 to 97 half, 1901 half to 1903, that's going to help set the tone right off the open. And then on the upside, if we are getting a lot of upside momentum, then keep in mind that there is potential to go back up to the gap fill and test some of those upper resistance areas. But that's something that we are going to have to gauge, in real time and kind of see how the day develops, how much underlying weakness we're seeing, how the other markets are behaving. So, all the normal things that, we look at during the regular trading hour session. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's keep an eye on pre-market support, pre-market resistance, and we'll take it from there.